I love saying happy Sunday because it's happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. You get the point. It's happy days is what it is. I want to talk about being rich with love. The world is seeing, not everyone, but many people see freedom and value in financial gain or financial freedom. Mac Miller is one of my favorite artists. He came from nothing and they gave him all that money and he was still looking for love in the end. You know, he couldn't find it. Something that is natural that's inside of us is love, you know, and it's the source of freedom. Yet we value things differently. I had a wonderful conversation with a human the other day in the park. We were just chilling in this like little hipster neighborhood. And there was some garbage by the dumpster. And she was kind of like walking around, watching me walking around the garbage. And, you know, I could see something breaking her, like, screw it. And she started picking up all the garbage. And I said to her right away, I'm like, hey, that was super cool of you. I'm like, I see you, you know, that's really amazing what you just did right there. And she said, thank you. Like, you know, I actually care about the environment. Her situation that she was currently in wasn't a good one. It didn't warrant any sort of financial stability at all. But the 30-minute conversation that I had with this individual was unbelievable because this girl was rich with love. She knew she was born into poverty and she knew that her life had been dictated on a certain course where money was not in abundance. But she found something else. She understood chakras and she understood being in relationship with nature and she understood the value in that. And the connection that she had with herself and with nature set her free in her current situation. Now, I know this very much as well myself. I mean, I had nothing so much in my life that I knew what something was. And it was a beautiful thing once you really find that money is hollow and that it isn't this sort of sense of freedom. Everything that matters is on the inside. Being rich with love is the most, it's the most valuable thing in the world and in the universe for that matter, never mind. But it's just whether or not you are willing to obtain it and allow it to take over you. You know, to become rich with love, some people struggle a lot in life. And that's how they find it. That's how they obtain it. Such as myself. You know, I struggled for 23 years to find something, and then it found me once I allowed it. It's interesting that we don't want to do any work these days. A lot of people don't want to do work for something. You know, they just want it to happen for them, or they just want to buy something or take something and, you know, have this thing awaken inside of them. An awakening or a state of love doesn't happen without work because it's the work that allows you to appreciate the love, you know? It's the journey of finding love that is so beautiful and poetic that it's within that you obtain the state. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you can understand that. Like, looking at all of the struggles and all the difficulties in life as a series of lessons and experiences, as difficult or as easy as they are, and finding love within it, that's the beauty of life. You know, it's an internal thing. External is here to distract you. I mean, I see so many people stuck to their phones, whether they're walking or whether they're on the bus or whether they're eating dinner with someone else. It's like, you're eating dinner with someone else and you're both on your phones? That breaks my heart. You know, I'm not judging them, but that breaks my heart because I see a lack of communication. Communication is key and essential on the journey of love, but that communication can't happen with anyone else until it happens with yourself. You have to be able to communicate with yourself. You have to be able to be honest with yourself. And this creates authenticity. Communication and honesty with yourself creates authenticity because at that point you know that to become authentic, you must become honest. It does away with judgment, does away with fear, does away with anxiety and stress. Straight up. Love is so powerful. It's so beautiful, man. Fear, anxiety, and stress is an easy thing to attach to because there's so much of it in the world. You turn the television on in the morning, it's going to keep you scared. It's going to keep you anxious. It's going to keep you stressed out. I don't understand why we set ourselves up for this. Like, the world teaches you to become stressed out and to try and own things you can't afford. Why would you do that? Like, it's not normal. Like, that's not normal. Society tells you that that's normal because they want to keep you focused on the external aspect of life. Materialism, such as cars or fancy houses or how many televisions you have in your house. I remember my homeboy told me, like, last fall, he's like, I got 12 TVs in my house. I'm like, don't tell people that. Like, that's not a good thing. that means there's a whole lot of lack of communication going on in your house. Like, I don't know what to say. You're watching a television in every single room. Like, when do you have time for a thought for yourself? You don't. And that television and social media and the external aspect of the material world has you gravitating towards materialism. And what does that mean? In a world where we can't afford things, we have to be bound to debt. You know? So that's the financial aspect of freedom. That's financial freedom. There's no such thing as financial freedom for the rest of us because it's debt rules everything around us, you know? And it's sad, but it's a choice. You have to have accountability, you know? You got to be honest with yourself. It's like, did I need all that stuff or do I need all this stuff? You can free yourself from fear, anxiety, and stress. You can become rich with love. Letting go of materialism and letting go of what somebody else's idea of success means to you based on what they think, do away with that quick time, you know? What does success mean to you? To be honest with you, that girl that I spoke to in that park, she was successful. And I mean that. You know, I gave her a hug. She come up and hugged me after. She's like, man, it's really great talking to you. We shared a whole bunch. And she walked away smiling and talking to the birds. And I thought, you made it, girl. You may have had a rough life with cash, but you know what? You made it. That girl, like, stole a minute of my life because my world stopped for a minute of what I could appreciate inside of her. It was so beautiful, man. A girl just with nothing, but she was loving it and found what everyone is looking for out in the world. Like, you know what I mean? In nature, in herself. It was incredibly beautiful. Becoming rich with love for my journey has become humble. I don't have much and I don't need much. Monique right now, who's watching this, she's let go of everything. Walked away from a marriage, walked away from her children are grown, but you know, she's let them on their journey. She got a camper, she's been renovating it. Well, she was renovating it for the last year and now she's living in it. And she'll work a period of time and make some money and then go back to understanding herself. And I've watched this woman's journey and it's very, very beautiful. And it's so honest, it's so authentic. Does it go all uphill for her? No, it goes like this. But you know what? She can love on a low and she can love on a high. And that is a beautiful aspect because when you're rich with love, there is no like toxicity of like the fear, anxiety, and stress. Like, love is an understanding of all things. So it's so beautiful. You know, when you can love on a low and you can love on a high, you got to figure it out. And that shit's for real. Like, I mean, don't let the world and Instagram and social media and celebrity dictate how you are supposed to define success. You define success on your terms. Another thing to become rich with love, surrounding yourself with people who have the same philosophies as you is how you grow this state of love. If you are constantly around materialistic people, if you're constantly trying to wear things to impress people that don't actually matter to you, you will stay victim to a world of materialism and judgments and fears and anxieties and stresses. If you break free from that, you will find something so much more. Does it happen overnight? No. I had a period of loneliness in my life when I had exchanged fear for love. So when I embodied this state of love and decided I was going to be honest and authentic with myself in that prison cell, I was lonely. I was lonely when I got out. It was difficult. It was a long journey. I would really encourage you to, you know, make your tribe your vibe. In order for that vibration to resonate to anyone else, it has to resonate within you. Because love is a vibration that gives off a frequency that is infectious. It is incredibly infectious. I mean, there's so many people that are alone and sad and divided in the world. And it's like, this is why I speak this way, is because if you can embody this state of love, which is, you know, doing some internal work for yourself, becoming honest, becoming authentic, communicating with yourself and listening to yourself, once you do that, like, there is no more sad and lonely. Like, there isn't. Even when I'm alone, I'm always with something because love is internal. But it's everywhere. It's this connection to everything. I mean, nature, the birds, like the animals, like come one with it, you know? And it's incredibly beautiful. To be honest with you, I just live in the present moment strictly. And I don't watch television because it's not for me. You know, I can only affect what I can affect, what's right in front of me. So I inject love and light into the human beings that are around me, and I try to live my best life each day. I still learn every single day. I don't always get it right, but I don't beat myself up for it because I just try and learn the lesson through it and navigate on the next one. It's a wonderful philosophy, to be honest with you. It's brought me out of so much. Like, I mean, my story is so beautiful because, you know, I've overcome homelessness, I've overcome addiction. I'm down here on the east side again today, as I do every Sunday, just to try and bring some love and light to people that were in my situation before. And I found, I love it. You know, community is such a beautiful thing. That's what being rich with love is. It's community, it's connection, it's this shared vibration and frequency. It's so beautiful, man. It really is. So if you're on this journey and you're looking for these kind of things, like, hit me up. You know, if you have questions and you're really doing work and you're struggling to get over something, I can share what I learned from other people and what I've learned in my own life with you, because that's why we do this. Like, an ascension is a real thing. It's very real. And it's very beautiful. And it's a connection to something so much higher. So much more than cars and overpriced this and overpriced that. Like, let it all go. Let it go. Find yourself. Rich with love. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you're looking for your path, hit me up.